I really like just centering practically my whole life around like how can I be a better teammate, how can I be a better player, how can I be a better leader. Sometimes I'm in the off season, I'm like, hey, what is the meaning of life? Like, I don't really have.
Hey everyone, Digon here alongside Bjergsen. They just played against FlyQuest. It was a tough one, but I feel like a lot of learning lessons here, Bjerg.
Yeah, I think FlyQuest just showed up stronger today. I don't even think we played that poorly outside of we just fell behind. We had a lot of early deaths. They invaded our jungle, so we were kind of behind on XP in the jungle, but I think we took the fight to them.
Yeah.
We ended up getting outplayed in some of the team fights, but they were close. Tenacity had a great game. I mean, solo killing Impact and Summit in the same week.
Yeah.
Really good for him and his improvements. So, we lost, but I think there was definitely signs of hope in this game and good things to learn for us. On
that front, there was a major influx of talent that kind of came in this year. I wanted to get your thoughts on it because, you have the FlyQuest boys that came on in, Pioshik Summit coming back, obviously Berserker coming into his own after, getting a full year in, and you have a unique perspective of it because last year you guys were supposed to be, super team, whatever it was, and now this year you're coming back with a lot to prove in the face of brand new talent. How does that change the way that you prepare? Does it change the way that you feel like you stand in the rankings of things? Do you think about that kind of stuff?
Not that the mid laners that come over are bad, but they never really blow my mind. I mean, I think Vikla has been a very consistent performer, but if I'm thinking back to just the laning phase and the individual how I'm playing against him in the 1v1 and with the jungler in the 2v2, I think the spring and early summer Inspired and JoJo is way scarier, and I think they played really well together. But I think there's obviously, some players in the other roles, like Summit in Spring Split last year was just rolling over everyone. He was just a level above. I think Berserker and Pince just seem like Peter has been performing very well too, but those guys are just incredibly consistent. Just top performers. Berserker practically all of last year. It's if you give that guy Zeri, he's going to pentakill your team.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's more fun to play against good players, have a competitive game, and actually win against a player that you feel this player is actually skilled, but we were more skilled today.
Yeah.
Rather than I just feel like I'm playing against some, kind of mediocre players, and then winning doesn't really do it for me. But,
so then I think to follow up on that, does a loss like this, where you guys were in it, it was kind of back and forth, even when they're trying to end, you guys still clawed and fought. Do you get more out of games like this than you do a win against a middle of the pack team that you're expected to beat? This was the top billing of the week, I'd imagine, in terms of the matches.
Yeah, it's tough to say because we're still a very new team and coaching staff. Koss is just stepping into the head coaching role, Nuke Duck never having coached before. So I think there's still a lot of things that we're missing as a team. Just how we play the game, how we see the game. Just our fundamentals and basics are not really as set as some of these other teams like EG and C9 that have kept their rosters for the most part the same.
Yep.
We're a completely fresh team. I mean, FlyQuest is a pretty fresh team too, and they're doing very well. I feel like any team that has impact just ends up they just pick up very fast.
They do,
and they seem to understand how they want to play the game. I obviously don't know, but I want to give a lot of that credit to Impact because he seems to be able to do that wherever he goes.
Yeah.
So even in the games that we're winning, when we're winning against Dignitas or we won against TL yesterday, who maybe didn't play their best game, we are still learning so much from these games because, okay, we're in the driving seat. How can we, push it further? Why are we so slow to get vision? How do we want to approach these objectives? We're making these mistakes. They're not punishing us, but if we're playing against a really good team and we make these kinds of mistakes, we're going to be in a really bad position.
Yeah.
Of course, those learnings will continue to be there, but right now there's just a lot of learnings from every single game, and that's natural since we're a new team so early on.
Yeah. With this kind of a roster where it is all newish parts except closer being there, so for you, all new parts. You have a familiar, but again, not recent, working relationship with Doublelift down on the bottom side. What has been the most, I don't want to say difficult, but interesting part of fitting your, the way that you work and do things with a new org, new teammates, new process?
I like the mindset that all the guys bring, and just I think how people are open-minded but still have their own opinions. And I think just like the culture that we're pushing to set, maybe that doesn't sound that interesting, but it's interesting to me because I have a lot of ways that I feel like a championship team should function.
Sure.
I wasn't really able to make that happen in TL too much just because so many cooks in the kitchen.
Lots of cooks in that kitchen.
And it was just really difficult to really align on how we wanted to review or act or warm up before practice or just all these million different things that a team needs to align on.
Yeah.
I do feel like I have more of a voice in this team, which feels really good. And like I mentioned in another interview, I think just working with Peter, we already see a lot of these things in a similar fashion. Just how you show up, how you kind of review without ego, taking responsibility for your mistakes. I think these are all like really healthy things to have in the team environment, and just seeing the gradual change over time feels really good and makes me feel like we're on a good path. It's going to take time, but that we're slowly kind of building up to there.
What is the most important key to your longevity?
I think just staying humble and feeling like I never really figured it out. I always just had the mindset that if I'm not continuing to grow, eventually I'll fall behind to these new players that are coming up, and I've seen it in teammates in the past where I see that they function a certain way or they see the game a certain way, and they continue to do that even as the game significantly changes, and they just struggle to adapt and kind of evolve, whether it's in the game or even just how you show up as a person, how you take care of your body, how you take care of your sleep, physical exercise, diet, these kinds of things. Every year I'm picking up kind of something new for myself that I feel like is helping me in some way, or I'm tackling some kind of issue that's going to just make me practice more efficiently or play more calmly and with more awareness on stage. So it's just the constant problem solving and never feeling like, oh, okay, I had some success, I figured it out, I'm going to keep just doing things my way. It's like there is no my way. My way should be the best way, and I'm always looking to improve and change and keep my mind open.
Sure. It's a little bit more than just a little success, man. You've won a lot of it, but I appreciate your ability to, like I said, think about the game, share your thoughts on your process, and so thank you very much for the interview, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Good luck for the rest of the season, and for more league content, make sure to like it here on Digan Esports.
Thanks, man.